My baby, I need to talk to you proper now. And it needs to be right now, infant. I'm announcing this for a reason, because you don't have any concept what's going on your life and behind the scenes. Baby, you cannot see the full image. You experience lost and positive. And perhaps afraid, but I see the cease from the beginning. You're looking at fragments, but I am the one who holds the total tapestry of your existence in my arms. I know what was, what is, and what is to come back. Nothing escapes my sight. There are things that have been shifting in the spiritual realm that you can't understand together with your herbal eyes. There are battles being fought in your behalf. There are victories being secured whilst you sleep. There are moments you concept were coincidences, but there were divine interventions, tailor-made by way of my love for you. You aren't abandoned. You are not walking through this lifestyles on my own. You aren't misunderstood, now not with the aid of me. I've been calling to you lightly, quietly, constantly, however now my voice must thunder. Now I ought to shake you from distraction. I need to awaken you to the urgency of this second. An excessive amount of is placing within the balance. There are doors I'm about to open and others I have to close. If you are not listening, in case your coronary heart is not became closer to me, you could walk beyond what I'm looking to area without delay to your course. You could try and reopen what I've sealed shut for your protection. You've got puzzled why some matters aren't running out. You have cried over what become misplaced, over what was taken, over what looks as if postponed. But I see similarly. I see what you cannot. I see the traps that had been laid for you. I see the deception hiding in possibilities you desperately desired. I see the heartbreak you would have suffered had I no longer stepped in. Do no longer misread my realize as cruelty. It is love. It's far protection. It's far instruction. It's far the refining fire. There are some prayers I've now not answered inside the way you anticipated due to the fact the solution you longed for might have derailed you. You requested for blessing, but what you referred to as a blessing would have become a burden, a sequence, a detour out of your reason. I am the God who solutions with eternity in mind. You spot your these days, I see your generations. You notice the pain, I see the start. You notice the breaking, I see the making. My baby, accept as true with me when it does not make experience. Consider me after I seem silent, for I am by no means inactive. Consider me while your coronary heart is aching, for I am nearer than your very breath. You are not wherein you're by way of twist of fate. Every step has been ordered, even the ones you believe you studied have been mistakes. I will redeem all of it. I waste not anything, no longer your tears, now not your failures, not your wandering. I can use it all. I'm able to use all of it. Even what the enemy intended for evil. I'm able to turn for excellent. But you must go back to me now, not just with words, no longer simply while it's handy, however, along with your whole heart, and together with your surrender. And along with your yes, this world is loud. It pulls you in so many guidelines. However, my voice is still and constant. It has not changed. I'm nevertheless talking. I'm still guiding. I'm still healing. I am nonetheless acting miracles. I am still raising the dead matters to existence. If you'll pause, if you will incline your ear, you will hear me. I have been whispering to you via the restlessness, via the longing, via the ache to your soul that nothing else can fulfill. You preserve searching for something, someone, some destination to make you complete, to provide you peace. However, I am the most effective one that can do this. I created you with that longing so that you might find your manner back to me. My presence is your house. My love is your anchor. My word is your compass. Aside from me, everything else will leave you empty. Forestall chasing what cannot fill you. Forestall measuring your lifestyles by means of what others are doing. Your course is yours by myself. I handmade it. I wrote your call within the e-book of lifestyles earlier than time commenced. I shaped you to your mother's womb with gold. I have in no way stopped considering you. You're constantly on my mind. Not as soon as have I ignored you. Not as soon as have I forgotten you. You can sense like your prayers have fallen to the floor, however each word you've spoken to me is saved. I've stuck your tears in my bottle. I have now not grown weary of your voice. I've now not bored with your questions. I apprehend your pain. I weep with you. But I also need to boost you out of that pit. I need to set your feet on the rock again. I want to remind you of who you're, no longer who the world says you are, now not what the trauma described you as, however who I known as you to be earlier than the foundations of the earth. You are mine. You are selected. You are set apart. You aren't forsaken. You aren't too broken. You aren't too some distance long gone. There may be no wound too deep that I cannot heal. No sin too extremely good that my mercy can't cover. No darkness too thick that my light cannot spoil through. My grace is not fragile. It is not restrained. It isn't always exhausted. It smiles new each morning to be had every second you turn to me. The time is now. Don't wait. Do not postpone. There is a window open over your life right now. There may be an urgency in the spirit. I am drawing you. I'm calling you out of complacency, out of worry, out of disgrace, out of the patterns that have kept you sure. What you could not damage on your very own energy, I will damage. What you could not overcome by myself, I can overcome through you. I have given you authority. I've clothed you in righteousness. I have marked you with my spirit. You had been now not created to live in defeat. You had been not made for survival mode. You were made to thrive in me, to walk in freedom, to carry mild into the darkness, to be salt in a tasteless world, to be a mirrored image of my glory. This isn't just about your comfort. That is about your calling. Your obedience unlocks things you can't but consider. Your give up opens generational blessings. What you pick in this second will no longer handiest have an effect on you, it'll ripple into the lives of many others. Your sure will change atmospheres. Your accept as true with will shake foundations. Your alignment with me will release things which have been held lower back for years. Do not you notice, you had been born for such a time as this? There is nothing unintended about your existence. Every pain you have walked through, every lesson, every scar, none of it is wasted. I can turn it right into a weapon to your hand. I will flip your story into a key that unlocks freedom for others. However, first you must come to me, no longer halfway, no longer in pretense, no longer with mask. I want all of you, the raw, the broken, the real. I will work with that. I am not terrified of your mess. I already realize I've visible all of it and that I still selected you. I still name you mine. I still satisfaction in you. You aren't to unhappiness to me. You are my loved. You're the joy set before me. I gave everything to redeem you. I laid down my lifestyle so you ought to stay. I took your shame so that you should walk loose. I used to be pierced so that you will be complete. And now I stand on the door and knock. Will you allow me in, not just into the parts you've got wiped clean up, but into the hidden locations, into the fear you don't speak about, into the desires you've buried, into the anger you've got carried for years. I need to move there. I want to heal what you have prevented. I want to restore what you notion became impossible to repair. Let me show you what actual love is. Allow me rewrite the narrative. Permit me quiet the lies which have lived on your mind for too lengthy. You are not unlovable. You are not invisible. You aren't an excessive amount of. You aren't not enough. You're exactly who I created you to be, and also you are becoming great radiant with every step you're taking in the direction of me. The arena might also have tried to outline you, but my phrase is very last, and I say you are positive. I say you are loose. I say you're whole. I say you are referred to as. I say you're greater than a conqueror. I say you're mild in this dark international. I say you are my vessel. I say you convey my spirit. I say my energy is made ideal on your weak spot. Baby, concentrate carefully now, for what I'm approximately to say is not to be taken lightly, but it comes wrapped in peace. I realize you have confronted things that arrived without warning. I know how positive moments have felt like a storm crashing towards everything you had carefully constructed. I understand how it shakes you, how it leaves you breathless and questioning, why now? Why this? However, I want you to understand something deep. Something everlasting. Not anything reaches your life without passing through my fingers first. What comes all of a sudden to you never comes to me. I do now not react. I do not stumble or shift or scramble to reply. I am no longer amazed by what unfolds to your existence. Every detail, every unexpected twist, each detour you didn't see coming, it smiles all below my sovereign gaze. I see the end from the start. What you spot is unexpected, I see is scheduled. What you notice is chaos, I see is orchestration, now not randomness, now not danger, however precision, purpose, and divine timing. When you had been stuck off protect, I used to be not. Whilst the cell phone call got here, whilst the door closed, when the possibility slipped away, while the sickness got here, while the friend became there again, but while the plan unraveled, I used to be still seated on my throne. I did now not depart you. I did no longer abandon the plan knife to your life. You suspect the entirety modified in a moment. However, the moment only discovered what I had already organized, which will stroll through. It was a part of the adventure, now not the cease of it. There are things I allow no longer to break you but to form you, to wake you, to develop you. You do not must recognize all of them, but I do need you to consider me in them. The enemy wishes you to consider that surprising hassle approach you're out of my will, however I let you know occasionally, the very proof which you are in my will is the shaking, the stretching, the sudden flip. My son's lifestyles became complete of unexpected turns. 1 second coaching in peace, the subsequent surrounded by enemies. 1 second on foot freely, the next betrayed. 1 second respiration, the subsequent crucified. However, in every unexpected shift my will prevailed, resurrection followed. Glory accompanied, so too in your existence. You have to not anticipate that what disrupts your plans disrupts mine. You aren't failing simply because things sense unexpected. You are not lost simply due to the fact you are on foot a course you didn't plan for. I lead my children in methods they do now not recognize. Alongside unexpected roads I manual them. My methods are better. My mind are not like yours. You want the street to be smooth. I need your coronary heart to be robust. You need answers. I need intimacy. You want breakout. I want persistence. You need consolation. I want transformation. Each surprising second for your life. Yes, even those that left you weeping. Even the ones that made you question the whole thing changed into authorized for a cause. There are training you may never research without the interruption. There are graces you could never receive if the floor by no means shook under you. I am building something in you that is not fragile. I'm building faith that does not need each query replied, that allows you to accept as true with. I am constructing peace that surpasses expertise, now not peace that calls for know-how. You ask me, why couldn't you have warned me? But baby, I did. I told you I would be with you. I advised you trials could come. I advised you storms could upward push. I told you that during this global you'll have trouble, but I also informed you to take heart. Due to the fact I've conquered the arena. I instructed you that I would never depart you. I informed you that I would work all matters to your suitable. I informed you that I'm your refuge and your energy. Those are not just words. They are your anchor. Don't permit sudden events shake the inspiration of your belief in me. That agree with must go deeper than situations. It need to be rooted in my nature, not in what I give or eliminate. I'm still accurate when life would not feel true. I'm still devoted whilst not anything seems strong. I am still your father when humans fail you. I am still your issue while the earnings dries up. I'm nonetheless your healer whilst the symptoms linger. I'm still your shepherd whilst the course is darkish. You do now not must recognize each step to keep on foot. Every now and then all I come up with is light for the next step, no longer the whole route, and this is by means of design. In case you noticed the entirety beforehand, you'll either run ahead of me or refuse to transport at all. However, while you believe me with the sudden matters, with the detours, the delays, the interruptions, then you definitely begin to walk no longer via sight but by way of religion. And it's far religion that pleases me. It's miles religion that actions mountains. It is faith that quiets the typhoon within, although the storm round you rages on. I do no longer want you to live in fear of what would possibly come. I do no longer want you to brace for effect each time you experience peace. That is not how I created you to live. I need you to stroll in self-belief, no longer in yourself, however in me. I need you to wake up each morning now not asking, what if something terrible happens nowadays? But putting forward, something takes place nowadays, my God is with me. That is how I want you to stay anchored in my presence, not on top of things. You strive so tough to control what turned into by no means yours to control. You observed that if you planned sufficient, predict sufficient, calculate sufficient, that you can keep away from pain or loss or marvel. But infant, you have been now not created to hold that weight. That burden of reality belongs to me. I am the one who is aware of what's subsequent. I'm the only who holds the following day. I do now not want you to forecast your future. I need you to comply with me step by step. What if the things that appear to arrive abruptly are in reality solutions to prayers you forgot you prayed? What if the interruption changed into truly my intervention? What if the closed door became my mercy and cover? What if the unexpected redirection became me sparing you from something you couldn't see? My approaches are mild even if they sense jarring. My love for you is deeper than your comfort region. You've cried over the things that got here and modified the entirety. However, someday you may look returned and thank me for no longer supplying you with what you concept you needed. Someday you will see that the detour was the principal road all along. Someday you may recognize that the surprising typhoon revealed what could not be shaken and what should. That is not punishment. This is guidance. I'm no longer seeking to make your life unpredictable for cruelty's sake. I'm looking to make your soul unshakable. I need you to live with palms open, hearts surrendered, eyes constant on me. That is where real freedom is located. Not in understanding what tomorrow holds, but in knowing who holds the next day. No longer in having all of the solutions, however, in trusting the one who does. You have seen seasons shift in an immediate, one smartphone name, one choice, one analysis, one departure and it felt just like the ground below you gave way. However, did you word what occurred after the dirt settled? You have been still standing. I held you. I blanketed you. I kept you. You notion you wouldn't continue to exist it however you did. And I was with you every moment. Each breath. Every tear. I used to be closer than you found out. Stop watching for existence to be predictable before you believe me. Be keener. I in no way promised predictability. I promised presence. I never said you wouldn't be hit with storms. I stated the hurricane would no longer ruin you. I by no means stated you wouldn't weep. I stated folks that sow in tears will reap with joy. I by no means stated you wouldn't be tested. I said the trying out of your faith would produce staying power. While you start to see each sudden shift is a sacred invitation, the entirety changes. You stop panicking and start praying. You stop clinging and begin surrendering. You stop fearing the unknown and begin awaiting me to move. You forestall asking why and begin asking what now, Lord. This is wherein peace starts evolved whilst you recognize that nothing in your lifestyles is random. Nothing is wasted. Not anything is not noted. I'm writing your tale, not simply looking at it. I'm the author and the finisher. I write slow now and again because I care about the info. I write with perfect expertise, ideal timing. Each plot twist is intentional. Every pause is useful. Every unexpected chapter is putting in place the following one. I do not rush my testimonies. I hold them. You don't have to be scared of what is subsequent. If I permit it, I'm able to use it. If I started out it, I'm able to finish it. And even if you made the wrong flip, I'm able to nonetheless redeem it. I'm not restricted by way of your detours. I'm able to reroute your lifestyles in an instantaneous. What seems broken past repair, I will restore in methods so as to make you weep with awe. What appears behind schedule, I'm able to boost up. What appears lost, I will resurrect. But you have to permit go of your timeline. Let pass of your version of how things have been speculated to spread. Lay down the burden of your personal expectancies. I am now not gradual in preserving my promises. I am getting ready you for them. I'm operating behind the scenes. I am shifting portions you cannot see. I'm setting things in movement on the way to collide along with your life at the exact moment they're supposed to. When that second comes while it arrives, suddenly I want you to recollect this, I planned it. I timed it. I brought it to you not to weigh down you however to meet something everlasting. Whether or not it comes as pleasure or trial, as open door or closed one, as new starting or important ending, acquire it with trust, or acquire it with peace. Realize that I'm with you in all of it. Do not rush to escape what I have located you in. Do not despise the manna. Don't fear the sudden winds. Don't curse the rain. For in all of it I'm operating. I'm forming Christ in you. I'm constructing something eternal. Your lifestyles isn't a set of accidents. It's far a divine story unfolding with splendor and electricity and purpose. I've not noted a single element. So take a breath, baby. Permit my peace settle over you currently. You must brace yourself for life anymore. You do not need to panic whilst things trade. You don't have to live in fear of what's next. You aren't at the mercy of the unknown, you are held via the only who knows it all. And I am for you. I'm with you. I am writing your tale with love and hearth in my eyes. Every sudden component is a part of a sovereign plan. And when it comes, something it smiles, pleasure or sorrow, spoil through or conflict, you could face it with confidence. Not because you are strong, but because I'm. You're mine. I have you,